Friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. It's time to talk about the Oscars of the fragrance world. That's right, the most important time of year, fragrance award season. Most specifically, we're talking about the 2024 Fragrance Foundation Awards. You may remember that my fragrance, Terra Nova, was nominated for Men's Fragrance of the Year last year and lost. Yeah, that's right, baby. Let's go. Lost to Terre d'Hermès Eau Givre, which actually is really good. So no shame there. But it's time again. That's right. They have made us aware of the new nominees for this year, and we got to talk about it. We got to see which fragrances the real high and mighty people out there say are the best of the best. And you have to let me know which ones you think should win and which ones you think will win. And they've actually already announced some winners, so we gotta check that out too. So what are we gonna be talking about here today, guys? We're gonna be going over the best men's prestige fragrances, the best men's luxury fragrances, the best men's fragrances. And they've also got the consumer choice, which I'll let you know about because you, yes, all of you, are gonna vote for the winner of that category. You can't miss out on that. The power's in your hands, at least for that one category, not in any other ones. Your vote doesn't count on those. It doesn't matter at all. But in this one, it does. To be fair, in the Oscars, your vote doesn't matter either. Nobody cares, right? I'll have linked in the description where you can go to find all this information that I talked to you about here today and more, so feel free to go down there and poke around. And before we jump into everything that we're gonna talk about here today, here are some codes that you can use to save money. It won't save you any money if you try to submit your fragrance to the Fragrance Foundation to have it possibly judged. No, it won't, but it will save you money if you're shopping at a bunch of different fragrance websites. Yes, it will. So there are those codes. Put those to memory. Use those anytime you shop at any of those sites for niche, indie, clones, designers, discounted fragrance, whatever. Now, what was I talking about? Fragrance Foundation. In case you don't know what we're talking about here today with the Fragrance Foundation Awards, it's an annual award show where only the best fragrances and the best perfumers and the best everything is honored. And actually, if you want to have your fragrance judged and possibly make it to the finals and win an award, you have to submit it to the Fragrance Foundation. They actually have this on the website. If you're a member of the Fragrance Foundation, I think it's $700. So you send them the fragrance and $700 and you say, hey, judge me. And if you're not a member, it's $2,500. And the fragrance. And if you want to get that membership discount, then you have to be obviously a member of the Fragrance Foundation, and you can find this all on the website. So for example, if your company makes $251 to $1 million in sales each year, then it would be only a $1,000 fee to join. But then it goes on up from there, right? So the highest one it looks like is over 950 million. And then that would be 90,000 in dues that you owe. So basically, yeah, that's how it works. You pay your fees, you pay your dues, you send your fragrance on, and then they judge them internally, announce the finalists, and then they have an award show where they present the award to the winner. We gotta see what the best ones are. Let's look. First thing I wanna take a look at is packaging of the year. So they have already announced the winner for packaging of the year. So these are the nominees, or were the nominees. You've got a Christian Louboutin there, you have Formosa, a Guerlain, you have a Mind Games, and Portals Parfum, so you can see all the presentations right there. Which one do you think won? Did you say Mind Games? Then yes, you already looked at the website, because that's who won. This is the funniest thing, like the first thing that caught my attention when I looked at the whole everything was that. I was like, Mind Games? That's who won? And I'm not saying these 5 that they have here are necessarily like the best presentations of the year or anything, but of the ones available, that was the one, huh? All right. Now I find a few things interesting about this. First off, the Mind Games French Defense presentation that they have here is very similar to like the original Mind Games presentations that came out that had different caps. So it was like based on chess pieces, obviously. So you had like the king cap and the knight cap and the bishop cap or whatever. But Mind Games French Defense is part of the new collection where every fragrance in that collection has the same presentation. The only difference is some of them are in a white bottle and some of them are in a black bottle. So yeah, this is the Soulmate collection is what it's called. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in black and 5 in white. But the cap is the exact same, the bottle is the exact same other than the coloration, and obviously the name changes. Now I know they had to pick like one from the line, you know, oh, so it's this one, it's French Defense, but that presentation, I don't know. It's not bad, but is it the best one there? The entire Soulmate collection apparently, best packaging of the year. But the part about this that's a little iffy is the owner of Mind Games is on the board of directors for the Fragrance Foundation. Wow, what a coincidence. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be able to be on the board of directors or anything like that, but you know, a little conflict of interest maybe. Oh, guys, welcome to the new Gents YouTuber of the Year Awards. Here are the nominees. It doesn't matter, I win because it's my award show. F you, I'm the winner. Let's go. That's essentially what's going on here. Now, I know they would say that's not true. That's not what's going on here. But you gotta say, you know, from the outside looking in. But that's cool because they also have Packaging of the Year Prestige, where the finalists include Burberry Goddess in the plainest looking presentation I've ever seen in my life. It didn't win, to be fair. An ice cream bottle won, but I don't know too many people who would look at Burberry Goddess and be like, oh my God, did you see that packaging? That is insane. It was square. It had a cap. I mean, what more can you ask for? All right, let's get down to the men's stuff. Let's get down to the stuff, the good stuff. Let's go. All right, consumer choice. This is men's and universal finalists. So this is the one that you can vote on. These are your choices for fragrance of the year. Coach Green, Eloria, Hazy Blue, Armani Acqua di Gio Parfum, To Me 19 Degree, Born in Roma, Uomo Intense. That's a funny way to put that. And YSL Myself. Those are your options. There they are. To Me seems to always be in here. Oh, that's right, because the CEO of the fragrance group is on the board of directors. I'm not saying that To Me 19 Degree is a bad fragrance. It's not what I'm saying, but it don't hurt when your board of directors has your CEO right there. All right, so we also have YSL Myself, Valentino. These are L'Oreal fragrances by and large. And then Eloria, actually, the only thing I know about that is I got about 10,000 ads for Eloria on Instagram last year. I haven't smelled the fragrance yet, but I remember the ads because they kept coming. So they at least got some advertising spend going through social media. Of these 6, it's not a bad lineup. Honestly, it's not. I think that if we go off of sales, that Myself is gonna win. So like if people who are actually buying these in retail stores vote, which I don't know if they will, but if they did, I think Myself would win. For my own personal taste, I would vote Born in Roma Intense. And then underneath that, probably the Acqua di Gio. One thing that I noticed as well, they don't have a men's popular category. So the popular category is actually just fragrances that retail under $100 basically. And they have a consumer choice women's popular finalists, but they don't have men's popular anywhere. They have consumer choice men's and universal, but they didn't give us any popular ones. So apparently men's fragrance is not good enough that they deserve a category for things under $100. So that's a bummer. And here we have Perfume Extraordinaire finalists. And what is that? Mind Games again? Wow! I like Mind Games. I do, but holy God, they got like every category is like, yeah, this category would be a lot better if it had some Mind Games in it. You know what I'm saying? Might as well just, if maybe you could put if you put a Mind Games in there. Where else? I'll just keep on scrolling though. Let's see, what do we got here? Actually, legitimately though, if you go look up like the board of directors, like every company that's in here basically is on the board, so sick. Fragrance of the year, men's luxury, let's go. Creed, Absolute Aventus, Giorgio Armani, Acqua di Gio Parfum, Gucci Guilty, Elixir, Killian, Smoking Hot, Mind Games. Mind Games. Mine is friggin' the best brand on the planet, baby. So this is an interesting category because the categories are determined by the cost of the fragrance, basically. So luxury, prestige, popular, with luxury being the most expensive. And that's how you end up with something like this, where it's like, you know, Killian, Mind Games, Creed against Acqua di Gio Parfum. Acqua di Gio is just like, what am I doing here? I'm underdressed, guys. I swear, this is off the rack, man. This is an off the rack suit. You guys have got those, you know, those tailor-made things over there, guy. I don't know. What am I doing here? I'm out of my element, man. So yeah, Acqua di Gio Parfum. Sorry, buddy. What are you doing there? You're in the wrong category. Of those, which one do you go for? I'm kind of torn on this one, honestly, because in my mind, these are not equivalent. You know, like Acqua di Gio Parfum, I don't put in the same category as Absolute Ventus or Smoking Hot. It's like two different things, you know what I mean? Made for two different things, two different price points. I know Acqua di Gio Parfum is expensive for a designer, but still. Guilty Elixir makes a little more sense. That one's a little more niche smelling, I guess, if you want to call it that. Smoking Hot actually smells really good. I smelled that in Tokyo, and I know it's random, but not the same as Angel Share, but a similar kind of mindset, right? That kind of sweetness. It's pretty well done. For fragrance of the year, might go Absolute Ventus, honestly, out of those. Just because it's a big flanker to a really big fragrance, and I think it's pretty well done. Really expensive. I don't know for a lot of people if they feel comfortable paying retail for that, but smells nice. So maybe that one, Guilty Elixir or Smoking Hot. That's kind of where I'm at. All right, men's prestige. Ooh, this is a pretty interesting one. Pacha de Cartier Noir Absolute. That is a nomination that is way out of left field that I would have never expected, because that one can be rough. Okay, a lot of people are not gonna like how that smells. Talking about your average person. So that one is kind of like, oh, that's different. And there's also Le Male Elixir. There's Explorer Platinum, which is a choice. Then there's Luna Rossa Ocean Eau de Parfum, and myself, once again. Now, to be fair to Explorer Platinum, it does not smell bad. I don't hate that one. It's just, if you came up to me and you were like, hey man, this is like the equivalent of the Oscars, but for fragrances, we nominate this, I would go, are you sure? Out of, oh, you're serious? Out of everything last year? Okay. Okay. Out of those five, I would go Le Male Elixir. I mean, hands down. That's like an instantaneous choice. That's the one I would go for. Once again, I think if you're going off of just the most popular one, it'd be myself. Myself easily outsells all the others there. Luna Rossa Ocean Eau de Parfum is a solid flanker. It's well done. It's a nice fragrance. I don't know if it's something where I would see it and be like, fragrance of the year, sucker. I don't know about that. I know this doesn't really matter, but Mont Blanc Explorer Platinum, that's Inter Parfums says right there. And who is on the board? The CEO of Inter Parfums. Not trying to take away from these fragrances or anything. There is fragrance of the year popular, not consumer's choice, just fragrance of the year popular, which again is fragrances under $100 essentially, but there's not a single man's fragrance on there. So apparently when it comes to popular fragrances, there are fragrances marketed toward women, and then nothing else. Because the category here has Ariana Grande Cloud Pink, Bath & Body Works Gingham Gorgeous, Billie Eilish #3, Nest New York Lychee Rose, and then some perfume mists. Because a perfume mist should be fragrance of the year. There had to be at least one men's fragrance under $100 that wasn't awful, right? There had to be one. I guess not. But there we are, guys. There's the Fragrance Foundation Awards, baby. 2024 edition, which of course these fragrances that are included were released last year, which means when next year's edition rolls around, it'll be for fragrances released this year and so on and so forth. I do one of these like pretty much every year, kind of going over everything. But I don't know. Color me jaded. I do one of these pretty much every year, and there's actually a good amount of fragrances that are submitted to the Fragrance Foundation. There are a bunch. Like last year, I know that for the category that Terra Nova was in, there was like 100 some fragrances that were submitted. And then it was whittled down to like the final 5, essentially what you see right here. And even before the finals here, there are the semifinals, which include a lot of other fragrances, but it's kept internal, and then those are whittled down, and then the finals are presented to the public. But like if you're a semifinalist, you would know that you're a semifinalist and like what the other fragrances are and all that stuff. There we go, guys. Fragrance Foundation Awards. The official award ceremony is June 5th. So here soon, we will have the awards at the New York Lincoln Center, and you will get to see who the true winners are. Let me know who you think will win each of these categories. This should be like brackets, you know? You have to fill out your brackets, fill out who you think is gonna win, see who gets the most right. I might do that. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.